welcome back to Football Barbie, where we talk about anything and everything NFL football here. So I want to talk about one of the teams in the NFC East who just got sold. Finally, Daniel Snyder sold the Washington Commanders, and it kind of seems like he really didn't have a choice. He also finally had the allegations against him for this situation. So let's explain both what happened. Let's get it started. Talk about the Washington Commanders and what's going to happen with them.
Hold on, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished?
So, U.S. Attorney and SEC Chair Mary Jo White and her colleagues from the law firm findings were released today, a few days ago, into the allegations of misconduct and financial improprieties made by the former employees of the Washington Commanders. She was appointed by Roger Goodell as the independent investigator immediately following allegations against the Commanders owner Daniel Snyder made by former Commanders employee Tiffany Johnston at a congressional roundtable in February of 2022. So this has apparently been going on for over 17 months. Basically, Snyder put his hand on her thigh, this is what was claimed, at a work dinner and tried to physically get her to join him in his car following a work-related dinner, according to the report.
I learned how to discreetly remove a man's unwanted hand from my thigh at a crowded dinner table at a busy restaurant to avoid a scene. I also learned later that evening how to awkwardly laugh when Dan Snyder aggressively pushed me towards his limo with his hand on my lower.
Mr. Freeman asserted that the Commanders for a number of years this is also part of the report, ending in approximately 2015 to 2016, had repeatedly and deliberately omitted NFL ticket sales revenue from the reports that sent to the league, thus keeping revenue that should have been shared with other clubs under the league constitution bylaws. Mr. Freeman also alleged that the Commanders for more than a decade, starting in 2009, retained customer security deposits provided in connection with leases for multi-year club and suite seats, in deliberate violation of contractual obligations to return security deposits upon expiration of the leases. The Commanders, according to Mr. Friedman, also at times failed to report and share to league the revenues from the forfeited security deposits. Snyder obviously did deny all of the claims. So, how interesting. So these were the allegations that apparently were brought in February of 22 from Tiffany Johnston, all the way to Mr. Friedman was talking about these things. Today I'm also having me a margarita. I love making healthy margaritas. It's way better. So, in these reports by Mary Jo White, the reports specifically identified approximately $11 million in revenue. This is what was this is what apparently happened, including those in the Jason Friedman allegations that the club appears to have improperly shielded from sharing to the extent required by the NFL policies. The NFL is super strict. This is not stuff you can mess with. I guess when you sign in, you sign onto the rules and regulations by the NFL. On the evidence available, the investigation neither found nor ruled out that Mr. Snyder directed or personally participated in the improper shielding of revenues from sharing to the extent required by the NFL policies. There was also an alleged financial misconduct at the club. She did complete an investigation over, like I said, the 17 months that included an interview with 44 total witnesses. Sometimes the witnesses will be interviewed more than once, and a review of 10,000 documents, and assistance from a team of forensic accountants. You know you have a problem on your hand when you have a team of forensic accountants. Like, that's an issue. Your bank accounts and everything are now being opened up to the forensic accountants to cipher through every single thing that you have. Yeah, you sound like you're effed here, okay? There was also... So, in accordance to this, now Mr. Snyder, Daniel Snyder, will pay $60 million to the resolution of Mrs. White's findings in all outstanding matters. Roger Goodell wants to make sure that everyone is in a safe, respectful, and professional work environment. So the NFL owners, as for the sale of the Washington Redskins, NFL owners voted unanimously to approve the sale of the Washington Commanders franchise to a partnership led by Josh Harris from former owner Dan Snyder. Harris already co-owns multiple professional sports teams, entered into purchase the agreement with the Snyders on May 12th for a league record price of $6.05 billion. Harris stated, being a fan is not enough. In order to be successful, we understand that we need to win championships. I'm sorry, but if you're a Commanders fan, I still think you got a while until you start winning championships. Unless somehow you manage to get all the major players for a really good price, I don't know if I see the Commanders winning any championships anytime soon. He also said that having a positive impact in the community and great, incredible memories and experience for our fan base, much as I had as a youth growing up in Washington. So the agreement was subject to the NFL approval by a vote of at least 3/4, 24 of the league's 32 owners. In the 24 seasons under Snyder's ownership, the Commanders posted a 164-220-2 record. So 164 to 200 wins to 220 losses to 2 ties. Record with playoff appearances. Washington last made the playoffs following the regular 2020 season and last won a playoff game following the 2005 regular season. So, do you think that the Washington Commanders have a chance to now go and do well in the NFC East? Now that Snyder is out, I have a feeling a lot of Washington Commanders fans are really happy to see Daniel Snyder gone. What do you think about the allegations? Apparently, he wasn't really found. He was found at fault for the issues regarding Tiffany Johnston, is what the report said, because I did try to read a good amount of the report. It was like 23 pages long. So apparently he was found guilty for that, but he was found not guilty in terms of the financial part of it, because there wasn't enough evidential proof that was actually the case, that he knew what was happening inside the Commanders. So there was a lot of shady stuff happening at the Commanders, but he did, through other people, did have witnesses through the whole situation with Tiffany Johnston. So I think part of that settlement is going to come soon going to her. So what do you think? Washington Commanders, new owner starting for the 2023 season. Do you think that means we'll actually do better? Because I'm curious. I don't. I think that the Washington Commanders maybe could this year make some moves, off season, make some trades, the draft, pick up some new people, and then maybe the Washington Commanders can be able to compete better within the NFC East come the following season. But as of the past few seasons, since obviously 2020, the remaining of the teams in the NFC East have been able to do much better than the Commanders. And I really don't give the Commanders that much credit this year. I'm sorry. They do have a few good people on their team, but they really do need more people, maybe better coaching. Something has to happen for the Commanders. Yeah, I don't know. But, I mean, I'm probably happy to see Daniel Snyder go. Nobody wants somebody that's groping females within dinners or trying to get some female in the back of a limo. Obviously, she complained. Apparently, I think Tiffany Johnson used to be a cheerleader, and then somehow she got into the whole, other aspects of the league, which would be a goal for anybody. So that's a shame. You really don't want to have that. And I'm sure Roger Goodell, he really is very picky. This whole gambling policy and all this other stuff, you can't mess around in this league. He is definitely, they do call the NFL sometimes for the no fun league. They need their players to remain a proper etiquette on and off the field. If you do stupid stuff off the field, you're going to get into a lot of trouble. So Daniel Snyder can't be sexual allegations against him. I mean, Deshaun Watson got suspended for, 11 games last season due to the alleged sexual allegations that he had against him. So you can't be doing this kind of stuff in the NFL. What do you think about all of this? Do you think that, obviously it was wise, Daniel Snyder, I'm sure he's not the complete full owner, I'm sure, of the Washington Commanders, but $6.05 billion for the Commanders. Do you think it was really worth that? Because I don't. Where does that number even come from? So please let me know, what do you think about the whole Daniel Snyder situation and what is going on? Thank you guys. Please like, comment, subscribe. Love you all so much. Ta-ta for now.